Who's there?
Hello.
Nuwak. Chatty as ever. Where have you been? I haven't seen you in almost 2 years.
I've been all over the place.
I guess you're not going to ask me where I've been. Just make yourself at home by my fire, why don't you?
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. Tell me a story or something.
I don't think I can.
What?
I don't think I can do that.
What are you talking about? Why not?
You're not one of us. You're an outsider. You're one of Amalkane's people.
Listen, I was one of Amalkane's people when I was 10 years old. I lived among Chanters from the day your father, our father, rescued me from the smoldering wreckage of my village. My people were killed by Thrain. That's not my culture anymore. I don't know anything about that culture. Chanters are my people, and all you do is turn your noses up at me. I'm not an outsider. I'm your damn brother. You act as if there's some great code of secrecy among Chanters. But I know about how you throw voices. I know about your blinking eyes already. Where have you been? Tell me the story.
Fine. Something really strange happened to me about a year ago. On occasion, when I grew tired of seeing other people and solving their problems, I'd leave the road and wander in the wilderness, sort of like an animal, eating mushrooms and roots, that which I could gather. I came up into the mountains dividing Welburn and Roltiriad, and the forests there were isolated and serene. The air was crisp, and it cleared my mind, and it seemed the troubles of mankind were drained from me. But as I wandered there, I began to suspect that I was being followed. I didn't know whether it was man or beast, but I hurried on my way as quickly and as quietly as I could. One day, I came to a waterfall at the edge of a mountain lake, and I decided to cross it near the top, for there were rocks that I could use to easily step across. I was halfway to the other side when I saw him. He was tall, a monster of a man, with ratty hair and a long crooked face. His clothes were weather-stained and dirty. He stood looking down at me for some time before he spoke.
"Tough man,"
he said.
"You've encroached far into the lands of my people, but to me you're still game, like the stag and the boar."
This confused me, and my heart began to beat faster. He was like no one I'd ever seen before, but what he said, and the crooked knife he'd pulled from his belt, told me he was to be avoided. I let my eyes flicker as a wizard's warning, and I turned to go back the way I'd come, but suddenly he was there too. I began to panic, and he moved forward. I leapt down to the rocks. He stood above me, tossing stones. They bounced all around me, and one cracked against my skull. I made it to the bottom of the falls, and I turned to see him, standing up there on the rocks. His eyes flickered red as if to mock me. He began walking down the falls toward me, and I ran along the river as fast as I could. Night fell, and I found a hidden place to sleep. But I slept poorly, for the woods were filled with sound. Footsteps were everywhere, and distant voices, and strange glowing lights. I thought I was losing my mind.